okay? So, time. All of us here today who have something in common, some that motivates, pushes us, and keeps the flame alive in us. The same flame that made you to be here today, and the same flame that convinced me to compete on this stage. And that there is no other than passion. Passion is the driving force for motivating and pushing us to become better coffee professionals and to elevate our coffee skills. But if we want this industry to thrive, we need to share our knowledge with people and to show them how to expand their skills in order to develop this specialty coffee industry. So, in the next 15 minutes, I will be sharing with you techniques that I have implemented in order to get the best flavors out of this coffee. My goal is not only to introduce them to you, but also to empower every barista out there so they can easily use them and deliver a unique coffee experience to their customers. So, let's get started. In all three courses, I will serve you a geisha variety, natural process from Micava coffee in Rizalda region of Colombia. Paul Doyle, the owner of the farm, produces these geisha cherries at the altitude of 2,000 meters in the foothills of an extinct volcano. The rich volcanic soil and the high altitude helps the cherries to maturate slowly, resulting in a higher concentration of sugars and acids. Now, follow me to the coffee processing journey. This image here is the same with the one in the front of you, so you can take a look. After collecting the cherries, he placed them in closed tanks and pressurized them with CO2 to start a 24-hour carbonic maceration. Inside the anaerobic environment, lactobacillus bacteria have started to grow and consumed sugars from the fruit and transformed them into lactic acids. It is here where this vibrant malic acidity and these juicy flavors like passion fruit and pineapple have been developed. Paul, as a passionate coffee producer, has developed a new technique for drying this coffee. Firstly, he placed the cherries under the sun for a rapid initial dehydration. This is followed by a shade drying on raised bed to slow down the drying process and to stabilize the moisture level. Paul calls this solar aerobic slow dry. This technique gave to my espresso a high sweetness and a more round juice body, which is also what I really loved about this coffee and stood out for me. As you saw, I extracted my signature drink doses and leave them to cool down so they can easily open up all these beautiful flavors. And now, let's start our course with espresso and let me introduce you my first technique for today, which is this vice distributor tool. This tool is designed to break down the clumps from the grinder and helps the coffee to the gas. Additionally, by stirring it, it distributes evenly the ground coffee from top to bottom and side to side, resulting in a more consistent extraction. Also, it helps the replicability of the espressos and highlights the silky texture and that pineapple note in your cup. As we know, during extraction, we lose a lot of aromatic volatiles in the air, so we need a way to capture and keep them in the cup. In the last few years, we have seen different chilling techniques, but this one, it's easier for the baristas to use it and highlights perfectly my Micava flavor. I call it frozen yield technique. I keep the cups in the freezer for 30 minutes to minus 15 degrees to be sure that the porcelain will have the ideal temperature of 3 degrees. Then I extract my espressos directly to the frozen cups. Cooling rapidly the espressos results in a higher concentration of volatile compounds and enhance my Micava's flavor profile like cherry and passion fruit. Also, this process elevates the tactile of the coffee and gives us a more velvety texture. The recipe that I'm using is 22 grams in, 38 grams out, 40 grams out, at 93 degrees. Because here I found the best tactile experience, balance of flavors, and high quality of sweetness. When I will serve you, evaluate only the crema. Now, write down a few notes. For your taste descriptors, look for pineapple, passion fruit, and cherry. The finish is sweet and lingering like a sweet lime. In tactile, you will have a medium weight, rounded smooth texture on your first sip, which turns into silky on your second sip. Please use the spoon provided and gently stir 6 times back and front. This will homogenize the liquid properly and ensure suitable temperature for all of you to enjoy this delicious beverage. When you do, place the your spoon on the shot glass in front of you. Please, go ahead, enjoy it. Okay, so now let's move on to my milk beverage. In order to highlight the fruity flavors that you tasted on the espresso course, I created the evaporated milk procedure in collaboration with Mevgal Milk Company in northern Greece and helped you to create a more concentrated milk. So, how does it work? I place a jug of 1 liter of full-fat cow milk in this tank full of water. Then I supply heat through this suite at 80 degrees for 20 minutes. The milk loses 20% of water content and condenses the sugars, fats, and proteins. This increases the sweetness and the texture of the milk and gives us and highlights the cherry note and that creaminess on your milk beverage. Then I keep it in the fridge overnight to stabilize the cold temperature at 3 degrees. Now, write down a few notes. For your taste descriptors, you will get cherry, caramel toffee, and butter cookies. The finish is sweet and coating like a melted caramel ice cream. The recipe that I'm using is 22 grams in, 38 grams out. Enjoy it. For this course, I found that grinding my coffee finer intensifies the tactile of the espresso, which combined with this milk, which is steamed at 50 degrees, it highlights that toffee caramel note and that creaminess of your milk beverage. Enjoy it. I'm serving you 90 ml drink with 1 part espresso and 3 parts of milk. In order to refine all the flavors and acids from the beans, I found the best result by roasting this coffee 15 days ago with an end temperature of 207 degrees. Enjoy it. After first crack, sweetness and solubility of the beans. Enjoy it. So, as you saw in the previous courses, techniques had a massive impact in my Mikava's flavor profile. So, I want to choose ingredients that will elevate the flavor profile. My first ingredient is a lacto-fermented solar aerobic slow dry raspberry. To prepare this, I added 100 grams of raspberries with 2% of salt in a sealed bag in a room temperature. Lactobacillus bacteria consumed sugars from the fruit and transformed them into lactic acids, the same acids that we found in our fermentation tank back in the farm. After 5 days, I opened the bag and placed them on raised bed with a shade cloth under the sun for 3 days. This slow drying phase dehydrated naturally and concentrated the sugars from the fruit, just like Paul tried this geisha back in the farm. Then I squeezed and strained them, and the result is this natural raspberry juice, and I add 20 grams of this. I chose raspberries because their natural juicy acidity complements perfectly the pineapple note from your espresso and transform it into a new flavor of cherry. My second ingredient is an evaporated palm sugar syrup. Using the same technique from my milk beverage, 5 minutes ago, I placed this glass in the hot water in order to prepare a palm sugar syrup with a ratio 1 part of sugar and 1 part of water. In palm sugar, I found the best natural sweetness that will bring back the sugars from the raspberries that dissipated during the fermentation. In order to support the synergy of the drink and to emphasize the original sweetness of this geisha, I added 10 grams and will create a new flavor of raisins. My next two ingredients are bioproducts from my coffee itself. First one is a coffee saccharum, which I prepare it using oleosaccharum technique, combining citrus peels with sugar, but this one is applied with coffee packs. During my past routines, I kept the leftover coffee packs and mixed 100 grams of it in equal parts of the Merara sugar and leave it for 8 hours. Sugar starts to absorb coffee oils and acids until to forming a paste. Then I added equal words of water in order to dilute it, and then I filter it through this paper filter to clarify it. The result is this zero-waste sweet and sour coffee saccharum, which reminds me the sweet malic acidity from my coffee, and I added 10 grams. Also, this complements perfectly the passion fruit note. Next one is a cold brew coffee chaff. After roasting my coffee, I added 1 part of coffee chaff with 10 parts of water in this cold brew device and immerse it for 8 hours in a room temperature. This cold brew coffee chaff will complement the fruitiness of the espresso and will give depth and complex to the drink, and I added 10 grams. And will create a new flavor of salted caramel. And of course, my 2 double shots, extracted with the same recipe as I did with my espressos. All the recipes about my ingredients are there in your menus. Next, I flash them all together with nitrogen in order to emphasize that creamy texture. The drink will be warm and served into cold cups the same way as I did with my espressos in order to elevate sensory characteristics. Now, write down a few notes. For your taste descriptors, you will get cherry, red grape, raisins, and salted caramel, with a creamy texture and a long caramel finish. When I serve you, don't drink it yet, and please wait until I call my time. When I do, swirl 5 times before each sip. Dear judges, nowadays we witness producers, roasters, and baristas using different techniques to elevate the flavor profile of their coffee. I'm looking forward on what this future holds, because techniques are really important on what we do. But passion and dedication is the meaning of why we do this. Please enjoy it. Thank you. Time.
All right, a big round of applause. Barista champion representing Greece, Nikos Antzaras.